What up, guys? Fruit Punch Saber here. Back with some more Chaos Head. Noah. Takumi's a beast. He's a beast, dude. That character is good. They made him so shitty in the anime. Or maybe because I wasn't a weeb yet. I remember in the anime, I really disliked Takumi. But for some reason, the visual novel, maybe because I can finally relate to him. Because I, myself, I'm a little bit of an otaku, and I like 2D now. Takumi's a fucking beast. What a beast of a character, man. Yasuji Ban entered the big conference hall at the Shibuya police station for the first time in 3 days. The conference for what was being called the Maruya Macho crucifixion murder had already begun, and some of the officers were glaring at him for being late. Ban forced a weak smile at them before sitting down, telling them he'd been in the toilet throwing up. Didn't seem like it would suit the current mood of the room. They assembled a task force to handle the Maruyama crucifixion murder the morning after the incident. Between the Cornelius Tower Group suicide and the Shibuya Station area man/baby murder cases, the police force was already stretched thin. So even Ban, a nobody lieutenant from Section 1 of the Tokyo Metropolitan Police, had been sent in to help out in the Shibuya Ward Cops. Since all 3 cases had happened in the jurisdiction of the Shibuya Police, there was now a highly unusual situation: 3 different special task forces at a single station. Because of this, the team had to take turns scheduling their day in the big conference room. Since the media kept calling it the New Generation Madness, there was a rumor going around that they were going to resolve the shortage of officers by bringing all 3 together under a NewGen special task force. All the officers thought it was a stupid idea, but that didn't mean it wouldn't happen. Yeah, buffered the volume for me. Captain Musunaga was Ban's boss and the leader of the task force. He glanced sharply at Ban, but Ban didn't notice. He took a deep breath while waving a paper fan at his face. That's the dude. Only when Ban's partner, a rookie detective named Suwa, whispered to him did he realize he was being called on. Shit. I feel like this guy is tight. I don't remember it too much in the anime, but I feel like this guy's tight. The young detective? I don't know about him. I don't remember his ass. After a sharp elbow from his older partner, Suwa sighed and stood up.
犯行現場近くの監視カメラの解析がようやく出ました。犯行時間に不審な人物が映ってました。
Murmurs broke out in the room. The air instantly became tense. The detectives from the Shibuya police all began to scribble down notes, careful not to miss anything he said. They were desperate to solve this case. There's been 2 brutal murders. The group dive was still classified as a suicide, in a span of a single month in their district. They needed to catch the person responsible, and now, even if it meant dropping their usual stoic demeanor.
プロジェクターに映像を出します。
Is it a crucifixion? Oh shit! Uh-oh. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Takumi. He was there at the scene. Suwa put up an image up on a projector screen, just like Ban had told him to do before they started. It showed a narrow, dirty back alley in Muraya Macho. It was night, and there were a few lights, so it was hard to see much of anything at all.
犯行現場から約50メートル離れたところにあるコインパーキングの監視カメラです。
The parking lot was a tiny one, with no more than 2 spaces. It was located on a tiny strip of land crammed between buildings. From here, you couldn't see the crime scene. You could barely see the road in front of it. It showed the road a street away from where the killing took place. There was no audio on it either. Damn, let's just call this person G. Person G showed me, I don't know if I want to say this. Never mind, I take that back. I take this to the grave of me. Never mind, my bad. Forget what I said. The footage had a time step in the bottom right. It read 21:34. Damn, I want to say it, but I think it's best kept a secret. Don't worry.
犯行現場近隣の住民の証言により、21時過ぎから21時半頃まで釘を打ちつける音がしていたというのはご承知の通りだと思いますが、この映像は21時34分、つまりまさに犯行時間直後ということになります。不審人物が映っているのは21時34分53秒からおよそ6秒間です。駐車場の前の道を奥から手前へと走り抜けていきます。
Oh, damn it, I knew it was Takumi. Just then, a person appeared on the screen. They were running toward the camera in a clearly disturbed manner. The camera resolution was low enough that it was hard to immediately tell if the person was male or female. No way, bro, come on. But Ben had already spoken to the science lab and had them analyze it.
科捜研で解析した結果、映っている人物は男。年齢は10代後半から20代とのことっす。です。
Did he stutter?
人相の判別までは無理でした。服装がかなり特徴的ですが、これは小島にある私立水明学園の男子制服と分かりました。
Oh shit.
それと右手に注目してもらいたいんですが。
The image changed to a close-up on the person's hand. It was holding something.
スローで再生するとわかるが、走りながら腕を振っている際、この握りしめている何かが駐車場の照明に反射して光を放ってるんだな、これが。
When it was time to reveal the big discovery, Ben took over.
形状からして犯行に使われた十字架型の杭である可能性がある。
I don't remember this guy's tight. I don't know if any of them were tight, to be honest. More murmurs from the detectives. The killer behind the crucified murder might be a teenager. That was a shock. Maybe the media New Generation Madness was more than just a catchy slogan.
最も犯人に近い人物がこの少年だということか。
そういうことになりますね。
Ben stroked his unshaven shin. It was a habit of his. Whenever he got a step closer to finding a criminal, he'd run his fingers through the stubble and enjoy his victory.
以上です。
Sua sighed and sat down.
ひどいっすよ先輩。美味しいところ持ってって。
Ben ignored Sua's complaints and stared at the image of the teenage boy on the projector.
ようやく尻尾を出したんだ。そいつを掴んで離さねえようにしないとな。
Then now what? How are you gonna find him? This dude. Oh god. Oh, machine settings. Let's see. This dude lives in a fucking container. There's no way they can find this man. I found the image Shogun sent me in my cache folder. It was a JPEG numbered 168491. There was still a big part of me that didn't want to look at it. I mean, it was disgusting. If I looked at it, I was sure to remember the scene as it was in the real world. No, but if I was going to prove you were wrong and prove my innocence and that I was safe, I would need proof. Settertime was here to help too. I couldn't handle this alone. I could handle a little gore. I worked up my courage and double-clicked on the file to open it. Yeah, it was gory, alright. But compared to what I seen in the real world, it wasn't that bad. It was a fake too, right? I could handle it. The first time I looked at it, I only taken a quick glance before closing it. I didn't look at the whole image from top to bottom. This time, I was able to take a closer look, even if I had to suppress the urge to vomit. I didn't know how to tell if an image was fake. Did you look at the direction of the shadows, the backgrounds, things like that? If anything, to see if anything was wrong? It seemed to me the most likely possibility was that they'd taken a photo of the alley first, and then added in a stake corpse later. And then, the day after Shogun sent this to me, they carried out the murder just like in the photo. Because of the darkness and the low resolution of the photo, I couldn't tell much about the body, only the sticks were clearly visible. The light was focused on the area surrounding the corpse, as if they were the only thing they wanted the viewer to see. It felt like whoever had taken the pictures had framed it like that deliberately. There was no way the light shining right on the body and nowhere else was a coincidence. Or maybe it was a coincidence. I didn't get a clear look at the scene when I was there for real, so I couldn't say for sure. The demon girl wasn't in the picture. But if you stared at the picture until you thought your eyes would bleed, you could make out what looked like a person in darkness on the left edge. Really? Until your eyes bleed. On the left edge? Are you talking about bottom left? Oh shit. Wait. Hold on. Let me turn up the brightness. Hold on. Pictures. Brightness. It's at 50 right now. Remember that. Oh! Dude! I'm not going to say nothing. Because, might be spoilers. But if you turn up your brightness, you can see the hair color. And you can definitely tell that's a uniform. So it probably hint who the real killer is. The demon girl, right? I almost missed it. Between the low resolution and how they were standing in shadows, they were almost impossible to spot. On my first glance, I missed them completely. Dude, they really did tell you the killer, straight up. It's right there. They show you who the killer is already. Damn, they're good. This was a doctor photo, or it should have been. So maybe the person who took it let themselves get photographed by accident. Does he not know who that is? He could see. Oh, he can't see who it is. He say what looked like a person in the darkness on the left edge. If you turn up your brightness on your computer screen or your monitor or TV, whatever you're watching on, you could see the person hair color. And it'll be very obvious who the killer is already. I think I don't know what would they told me that. This is a doctor photo. Should have been maybe. I forgot to delete it when they added in the corpse. They were wearing a sume uniform. It must have been that demon girl then. She wore one too. He can see. He sees the uniform. But Takumi, if you look at that photo again, is it really the demon girl? Yeah, there you go. He can see. But the person in the photo seemed to have short hair. The demon girl had long hair. So did Yua. I decided to use image processing software to make it easier to see. I booted up the software and dragged the image on the top of it. Then I gulped before going to the level adjustment slider to the menu. I made the photo brighter and... That's what I did! That's exactly what I did! I brightened my TV! Bro! I knew it. I'm glad I didn't say anything because they were going to say it for you anyway. That's what I saw! I was like, they told you already. Takumi. It's you! What was this? The person in the photo. The person in the photo was, without question. Why me? This made no sense. I never even been there until September 29th. This was fake too. It had to be. I couldn't find any evidence of it at all, but it was definitely fake. It had to be. Shogun sent it to me on the 28th. The crucified killing had happened on the 29th. If this photo showed what happened on the 29th, it would be a photo of the future.
あなたには予知能力がありますか?
I don't know who voice that is.
うるさい、そんなはずはないんだ。
Is that Yua voice? I think that was Yua. I kicked an empty plastic bottle at my feet and shut down the image program. Opened up the properties menu to see when this JPEG file was created, and then I gasped. When was it created? It was created on the 28th, but that didn't matter now. There was something written in the comments section of the properties windows that what my eyes were glued to. Damn. Don't throw up. I slammed my fingers down on the keyboard before pushing it to the side of the desk and cradling my head in my hands. This guy's going insane.
セーラ助けて。
I tried to stop myself from crying. What the hell had been going on this whole week? Why was all this happening to me? Wait a second. Say, Shogun had gotten a photo of me from somewhere and used it to put me in this Gudo photo. That would mean they either taken the photo of me themselves, well, before the murder, or got a photo of me from some other place. Given that they came into the chat room out of nowhere and started talking as soon as Grim left, they were after me from the start. Maybe Shogun knew who I was then. If he did, there was no telling when he or the demon girl would attack the base, and then they kidnapped me. I felt the prickling on my back of my neck, that gaze again. I was being watched by someone. Don't look at me. I refused to look behind me. Time for the I'm not turning around so easily game. I was shaking with terror. I went to go check the lock on the door, but if I looked around, I'd lose. I suddenly stared at the monitor instead. To calm myself, I opened a word processor program and typed the thoughts that came to me. What? As I stared, quivering, at the word demon, I started to wonder if the girl I seen at the murder scene really was one. Yeah, she wasn't human. She had to be it. Maybe that's how she was able to see the future. Her demon powers will let her create a photo of what was going to happen. That would explain how she could do that terrible crucified murder all by herself too. And Shogun worked for her. They knew I was going to witness the crime by accident, so they sent me the image in advance. I didn't know why. Maybe it was a threat. If you tell anyone, this is what will happen to you next. Or maybe it was a warning. A death sentence telling me that I'll be next, if that was the case.
勝てるわけがない。僕は奴らにいつ殺されてもおかしくないんだ。
Then he's gonna give up. Now what, Takumi? Who is this? Whose room is this? Yua, alright, Yua Kusunoki, was staring at the computer in her room. She had a serious look on her face, and she was quickly reading through the information on her screen. Eventually, she let out a small sigh and took her hand off the mouse, before looking over at the piece of paper in front of her. It was a printout chat log between Shogun and Nightheart, the same as the one she showed Takumi Nishijo yesterday.
Nishijo-kun.
She whispered his name. Images of him sitting alone on the bench at Shoto Park came back to her. She shook her head as trying to drive them away. And she did like him. And then suddenly she gasped and turned around.
今、誰かに見られていたような。
Her own gaze was locked on the big ghetto froggy plush that lay on her bed. It must have been her imagination, she decided. She stood up, walked over to the bed, and fell into it face first. The sheets smelled like a sunny day. Her mom must have dried them outside this afternoon. As she buried her face in a pleasant scent, she looked around the room. Her room was kept neat and clean, a sign of her slightly obsessive personality. The largest object in the room was a huge bookshelf, packed tight in a corner to corner with books. But what made it kind of cute was the bottom was stuffed with complicated technical and computer books, but the top was filled with shoujo manga and anime DVDs. She let out another sigh and looked up at the ceiling.
DID.
What? What does that mean? DID. Dissociative identity disorder. Let's see. Oneself. Oh shit. The disorder manifests at an early age, but is sometimes not discovered clinically. Other becomes chronic. And childhood abuse or trauma are often seen in advance. Let's see. Let me read this again. People with this one's. Oh, okay. Okay. Term multiple MPD. Multiple personality disorder. 1980. SNF4. Okay. DID. Let's see. Okay. She whispered the name of the mental health condition she'd been researching. She had an explanation of all of it pulled up in the monitor.
辛いんですね。
Oh, you think that's what she has? But she thinks, nah, I don't know, man. You think Takumi got that? Maybe. She get the stuffed ghetto froggy on her lap, a tight squeeze, and thought about Takumi.
でも、私、
And then her expressions went blank. She gritted her teeth hard. I like his saber figurine. And his rider figurine. It hurts to breathe. All I was doing was looking up some stuff on the computer, but I could feel my heart pounding far faster than normal. The sensation that something was watching me just wouldn't go away. I was still restraining the urge to turn around, but I couldn't be able to do it much longer. I yelled at something. Was the something the demon girl? No way, right? Was she watching me like some kind of demonic psychic power? Like clairvoyance? Alright, clairvoyance. Let's see. Okay. The prickling in my neck only got more intense. It was turning into a sensation like a faint electric shock. I was starting to sweat hard. My t-shirt was soaked. I gave in and turned around, but all I saw was my room. Nothing unusual at all. No fucking way! Is he gonna unlock the door? I let out a scream, then stood up to make sure the door was locked. When I saw that it was, I felt a little better. I wiped the sweat off my brow with the bottom of my shirt. Okay, thank God. He was just making sure the door was locked. Alright, cool. Let's get back to our computer. Then I went back to my PC and stared at the monitor again. I've been reading up about how psychics could supposedly see the future. What the fuck? What the fuck is this shit? Bro, what the fuck? I don't even know what that word means, to be honest. Right? Only heard the first part of the word. Not really the whole word, but I think I know what the whole word means. Right? Bro, what the fuck is this shit? Why is it called that? Why can't they just call it wiki? That's it. What the fuck is the other word? The ability to see the future. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to read this one by myself. I didn't read the bottom out loud. Let me read the top text first. See the future, not predict the future. Okay. When I was a kid, I was absolutely sure that powers like that existed. To be honest, I still kind of believed it. That was the reason I immediately thought that the future the demon girl and Shogun sent was from the future, and why I felt I had to look it up. Maybe there were psychics who could see the future everywhere and just didn't know. I'd done something kind of similar when I was a kid with the bus accident, so I couldn't be sure if it was impossible, right? But the more I looked into it, though, the more it seemed like a bunch of bullshit, either occult stuff or magic tricks. There weren't any scientific proof that they existed, but there were no proof that they didn't exist as well.
一つぐらいあってもいいだろう。
I got even more annoyed and slammed my fingers down on the keys. The fact that everything was so vague made me feel scared and uneasy. Was I supposed to just keep waiting, spending every day in fear of a demon girl who might not ever come? My mind couldn't handle that. Of course, what I wanted was proof that it was impossible to see the future. But either way, I wanted a solid answer. My last hope was Atchin, a cult board. That place was filled with useless trash, lies, and fakes, but sometimes there was amazing info just lying there. Opened the page for Ad Channel, trying to stay calm. I went to the cult board and ran a search for future sight. And then... Yashi. Let's see. Wait, what he's talking about? Net slang for guy or dude. The Japanese word for guy is yatsu. Yatsu. A word which sounds very similar to yashi. Wordplay of this sort is extremely popular in mid-2000s net culture, so using yashi and yatsu was popular online. The original meaning of the word yashi is a traveling merchant that appears at festivals or roadside events. Net slang for guy? Why can't they just say yatsu? What's the difference? I guess it's like saying glizzy and hot dogs. Alright, whatever, bro. There were a surprising number of hits. About 30, actually. Was it a popular topic at Atchin these days? I gulped and looked at the threads one by one.
Phantasm. FES.
Most of the threads contained the words phantasm or FES. I also saw the term NewGen a lot. There was something about prophetic lyrics and murders too. A search I found about Phantasm was a 4-person goth punk band based in Shibuya. They were popular in the indie music scene, and their female vocalists used the stage name FES. I decided to see what that band had to do with seeing the future. The top thread was titled Prophecy/Future Sight, Phantasm General, NewGen 43. I decided to read it. Must be 20. What the fuck? Go back up. What? H figures. Black Mass. It's about... Holy shit. Man, this is kind of fucking weird now. I'm like, whoa. What the hell? Kiss the goat buttocks. Mixed with blood of babies. Holy shit. Holy. Whoa. What the fuck? Yo, this can't be real. I say that, but I believe this is real. I think this happened. Alright, let's read this. What the fuck? They're not gonna really drink baby bloods, alright? They could just call it a mosh pit or whatever. Hey, where's my oh, you're supposed to read it. Believer. Someone believes in someone something. Believers in late 2000s Japanese internet culture refers to anyone who was a hardcore fan of something, often a game or an anime character. They just replaced that word with simp. That's basically what happened. I wonder what simp got replaced with. Let's see. Fucking simps. Believers, am I right? You know what I like? Is to have FES call me a dirty pig. Whoa. I want her boot heels into my asshole. Jesus, alright, that's kind of weird. He went too far about slitting his throat. I don't know what brainwashing means. Dumbass shoe. The lyrics were, well, you can interpret them as referring to the group dive, depending on how you looked at it. And the lyrics had been published 2 months ago. In other words, they weren't written after the group dive.
これが予知ってこと？
Wasn't it just a coincidence? Or was Phantasm working with the demon girl too? I read more of the log and found that all 3 of the NewGen's cases had been prophesized by the lyrics. Achin didn't have lyrics for the pregnant man and crucified cases though. They seem to be kind of thing where you weren't supposed to upload them to the internet. If you really wanted to know what they were, you had to go to the concert and buy the album. Either way, there were any numbers of discussion online trying to predict the outcome of the next NewGen murder based on Phantasm lyrics. Their album, published on an indie label, had been selling extremely well after the NewGen incident started. Some observers in the media had noticed, and Phantasm had appeared sometimes in articles about the cult hits with the Shibuya youth. FES was the one who wrote the lyrics. He pronounced it like the first half of Fess. Supposedly, her real name isn't known. Oh, bruh, I just been saying FES. Her name is Fess? Alright. Maybe she was the demon girl. If she was, then that would explain... Not you, Siri. If she was, then that would explain how she was able to predict the murder months in advance. She was the one who carried them out, after all. I did an image search that couldn't find a picture of her face. All the photos of her concert were taken with crappy cell phone cameras. They were too blurry to get a good look at her.
So.
I wiped the sweat from her brow with my t-shirt again. Frustration, fear, a desire to believe nothing, a desire to see nothing. All these feelings came together and made it hard to breathe. I was still panting. I need to see Fest's face. With trembling hands on the keyboard, I went to Phantasm official site. It was a simple design with a black background. The font was a blood red crimson with a terrifying ominous feel to it. The site itself had very little in the way of information, just a simple concert schedule and a discography. There were no profiles of the band members and no lyrics.
やっぱり犯人だけあってネットに顔写真が流出しないようにしてるのか。
She was clever. A look at their schedule showed me that they seemed to do concerts every 2 weeks. The next one was...
あさって。
If I went, I would be able to see if Fest was the demon girl. But what good would that do? Was I going to turn her over to the police? Beg her to leave me alone? Could I take a cross and try to exorcise her? Not a chance. I couldn't do any of those things. She was a demon. A creepy otaku like me couldn't beat her. And if I lost, I would die. My corpse would become another disgusting piece of art, and photos of it would be uploaded to a NewGen aggregator site.
そんなのやだ。
No, but if I didn't go, I wouldn't know why I was in the image that Shogun had sent me. And maybe if Fest wasn't working with the demon girl, I could ask her for help.
だけどやっぱり無理だ。ライブなんて行けるわけがない。
I've never been to one in my entire life, especially in a concert hall that was just cramped and dark and loud and filled with people. Just imagine it made me want to vomit. I didn't know what to do. The prickling on my neck was still there. It had gone from a tingling numbness to a burning pain. And when I looked behind me, of course, nobody was there.
もうやめてよ。
I closed my eyes and waited for the gaze to go away. I refused to have the sensation following me for the rest of my life. Someday, it might get strong enough to actually kill me.
考えろ、匠。僕にできることを考えろ。
He's going. Right? We're here. I hid myself behind a lamppost and stared at the club called Gigantes. Oh, it's my water. That's some good water. There you go. In the end, I spent the whole day thinking and worrying about it before finally deciding to go. Gigantes was a distinctive red brick building near the Shibuya train tracks. The exterior was lit up in a way that made it feel old. I like something that would have been popular in the 70s or 80s. I had no idea that there was still a place like this in Shibuya. It was just 5 minutes from the station, but there were barely any people around. Sometimes I could hear a train passing above. Vibration from the loud noise would shake the lamppost I was heading in. Until a moment ago, there had been a lot of people out front, wearing outfits that could easily be mistaken for cosplay. Well, maybe not a lot of them. It was surprisingly how relatively few of them they were. For all that talk on the internet about Phantasm, there were probably only 100 or so people here. They were all inside now. The concert had started. The sound didn't reach the outside though, so it was still dead quiet. The nervous sensation in my heart that had started yesterday had only gotten worse when I arrived here. It hurt so much to breathe that I was beginning to wonder if I had some kind of heart disease. No, the reason was much simpler than that. It was dark around here. The demon girl and her servants could be lurking anywhere. I was desperately scanning the area around me, looking for anyone who might be about to jump me. Being there made me feel as tense as being in a once volcanic labyrinth in ESO. The once volcanic labyrinth was full of overpowered enemies, and the area itself was filled with lava. The slightest touch of lava meant instant death. How many times had I died in that zone? I wiped the sweat off my forehead with a hand towel and gulped. Excuse me. Excuse me. The door at the top of the stairs to Gigantes opened, and for a moment I could hear the sound of drums being violently pounded on. A boy came out the door. He ran down the stairs and over to me.
Yo, Taku. Matta ka?
I was the one who invited him to this concert. I didn't know his cell number, so I'd been forced to go to school that day and talk to him. I didn't think I could have gotten to Gigantes without him. And even if I had, if the demon girl was inside, it would be game over the minute I opened the door. That's why I enlisted him as a scout. It felt like I was using him, and I did feel a little guilty. Not that I said anything to him about it, of course. The only ones I could ask were him and Nanami. I opted for the one who would be less obnoxious, which meant Mizumi. I would pay for his ticket. In other words, it'd be basically hiring him for $10.
ほらよ、これ CD な。俺自分の分も買っちまったよ。
He handed me a copy of Phantasm album. They were going for a huge premium online, but I read on Action that you could buy one at a concert, so I decided to have Mizumi get one for me. Now half my goal was accomplished. The other half was.
いやー、予想以上にいいな、ファンタズムって。
He just left the concert hall and seemed a little excited.
俺、あんまミーハーになりたくなかったんで聞こうとしなかったんだけどよ。今日ちょっと生で聞いただけでファンになっちまった。
The other thing I asked him to do was describe the band members for me. They all came out as soon as the concert began, so all he needed to do was take a quick look and report back to me. But I hadn't seen them for 5 whole minutes after the concert had started. It seemed like the reason for that was him deciding to listen to their first song.
特にボーカル。ありゃマジでいい女だぜ。お前、女見る目あるな。
Yeah, Mizumi was only ever going to think about things with his little head. So much for not liking what's popular.
どんな人だった？ああ、そっか。報告な。なんか探偵みてえで面白いな。そう思わねえ？
He grinned and began to describe Fest to me.
髪型はショートカットだった。え？
That didn't match the demon girl at all. Does that mean Fest wasn't the demon girl then? No, wait, it was too soon to be sure. You could always cut your hair and add extensions if you wanted. You might have been in disguise when I run into her at the murder scene. Let's press triangle. Let's see, extensions, hair extensions. Yeah, I know what hair extensions are.
スタイルがすっげえ良くて、あと背が高かったな。ありゃ俺と同じぐらいはあるんじゃねえの？
What color is her hair?
背が。
About Mizumi's height. Mizumi's height wasn't much different from mine, so Fest was about 170 centimeters tall. Pretty tall for a girl. But when I run into a demon girl, she hadn't seemed especially tall to me. My memories weren't really that clear, but she seemed to be shorter than I was. Another thing that didn't match.
他には？そうだな。アンニュイな雰囲気してたな。声はクールってイメージかな。結構ボソボソと喋るタイプだった。胸のサイズはまあまあ。でもゴスパンの服は妙な色気があったぜ。ああいうのもありだな。断然あり。
It was no good. Just hearing someone else describe her wasn't going to be good enough. I only got a quick glance at the demon girl anyway. I don't think I could have described her even if you asked me to. Maybe this whole plan was a waste of time.
っていうかよ。そんなにフェスに興味あるなら自分の目で見ればいいじゃねえか。ほら、行こうぜ。え
？Mizumi pushed me up the stairs of Gigantes. I tried to resist, but he was stronger than me, and I couldn't escape.
見たいんだろ、フェスの顔を。素直になるって。浮気ってのは男の差がだよな。たくも大人になったもんだぜ。
Damn, that's terrible advice.
この前一緒に帰ってたメガネの子のことは今夜だけは気にすんなって。俺も田中のことは忘れるからよ。
What was he talking about? I tried to resist, but I realized it was too late. We were already at the top of the stairs. It was only a single floor off the ground, but if I struggled here and slipped, a fall would hurt bad. The thought made me stop struggling. When I stopped resisting, Mizumi shoved me through the door and into the concert hall. When I went inside, my ears were assaulted with a wave of sound. I never experienced anything this loud. I could feel it shaking the bottom of my stomach, and the vibration felt like they threatened to tear me apart. There weren't any seats, everyone was standing. The audience rocked their bodies in time with the rhythm, and I could hear cries of "Fest! Fest!" in time with the music. Their movements weren't as coordinated as the otage you saw at idol concerts, but they're still really impressive. What? It's a sight you never forget. Alright. The intensity was incredible. I felt like I was about to throw up from the heat of so many bodies. I was an otaku, but not an auto voice actress otaku. So to be honest, I didn't like concerts like this. The one saving grace was that nobody was looking at me, but I couldn't deny that I was terribly out of place here. There were so many people that I couldn't get a clearer look at the stage. The most I could make out were the silhouettes of 4 people standing under bright stage lights. As I stood there, overwhelmed, Mizumi handed me a plastic cup with some soda in it. He was to pay for my ticket. I had to pay him back later. And then the song ended. A wave of cheers and applause went up from the audience. Finally, everyone lowered their fists, raised fists. I had a clear view of the stage. I could get a clearer look at the short-haired girl up there. She definitely wasn't the demon girl.
今日はいつもより調子いいわ。声がクリアに聞こえる。世界がとても澄んでいる。
Her voice, picked up by the small amplifier and coming through the speakers, was nothing like the demon girl's either. Fess had, as Mizumi said, a sense of Inua about her. She didn't seem boyish, despite her short hair. She had a strange aura that was simultaneously cute and seductive, but also aloof. The accessories on her body reflected in the light gleamed silver, giving her a strange, unearthly look, like something from a fairy tale. I couldn't understand why she was so popular on auction. You expect a singer like her to be loud and passionate, or so I assumed, but Fess was calm as she spoke into the mic. It was the complete opposite of excitement in the crowd. Maybe that was just her personality. But the audience knew better than to shout over her. That was silence as she spoke, and everyone listened.
呼吸と性の門が閉じているからかもしれない。
I know that word, bro. That was an overlord. Let's see. One of the 2 rivers, blah, blah, blah. Greek mythology. Okay, cool. What did she say? Kakutis? What language is that?
世界の均衡は大いなる意志が生まれてから数千年間保たれていた。でも今それは崩れつつある。とても不安定。だから私は歌うわ。君たちのカオスを受け入れてあげる。
Chaos Head. Oh, now I understood. She was speaking in character. It was a goth punk thing. Maybe she was trying to say stuff that sounded ominous, even if you didn't know what it meant. It would make her seem kind of mystical and helped her connect better with her fans. In fact, Fess was holding something strange in her hand. In her left hand was a normal mic, and her right was a strange mic stand that looked like some kind of sword. It had a strange form of flowing curves that felt alien and dangerous, and looked so sharp that even touching it might threaten to sever her finger. It was huge, just as big as she was. The glass embedded the stand glowed with a strange pale light. I wasn't sure if it even was a mic stand, but it was perfect prop to help define her character. I found myself strangely unable to take my eyes off of it. Fess raised the huge mic stand above her head, and with a underground hip grip, she swung in an arc in front of her. The pale light of the glass made a half circle in the air. That was really dangerous. What if it hit someone? Maybe it wasn't a mic stand, but a sword. And maybe, like, she could cut off the head of a member of the audience each night in order to offer up their still warm blood to the demon girl. That would make this whole concert a black mass, led by witches. I began to shiver. Maybe it would be better to just leave now. Did he leave?
次は3曲目。密教の首飾り。
Another huge cheer went up from the audience. Damn, she got a sword. The members of the band all began to move at once, and a flood of sound hit my ears again. It felt like it was going to destroy my eardrums. How did they all keep from going deaf? I looked to my side and Mizumi was having a great time, raising his fist to the rhythm along with the rest of the audience. The intro ended and Fess began to sing, and the lyrics made me freeze. It was a prophetic song that I seen at Ed-chan. It was a dark song, without a glimmer of hope to be found in it. Maybe it was partially the lyrics too, but the melody felt almost religious. As the song progressed, the crowd cheers faded, and before long they were silent. All of them was listening intently, however, and some of them even seemed to be gazing at Fess in a kind of ecstasy. There was certainly something in her voice that drew you into her. Even as I fought against my fear of the crowd, the urge to vomit, I was listening to make sure I heard her sing. Somehow, the temperature of the room seemed to drop to below freezing in an instant. You feel chills. The song ended. Fess looked down, her body swaying from side to side, immersing herself in the last seconds of the song. Then she suddenly raised her head, and without any doubt or hesitation, you already know what's up, bruh. Look right at me. I don't mean our eyes met for a moment, or that she was looking in my direction. She was clearly looking straight at me, staring as if trying to see all she could, as if trying to see who I was, as if trying to see into my heart. Her gaze was so powerful, and for some reason, kind of sad. The next thing I knew, I was walking slowly on top of the roof. Somewhere, the wind was strong, and the rain was crashing sideways into my body. But for some strange reason, I didn't feel cold. I recognized this place. I've been here several times. That's right. This was the school's roof. I looked around. There wasn't much to see up here, and the rain made it hard to see anything at all. The whole place didn't feel real, like the world itself was blurry here. Oh shit, whoa. Bro, I never seen any of this. Yo, I don't remember this in the anime. I never seen this uniform before. Sup, Emily? I was looking beyond the fence surrounding the roof. Fess was there. She was soaking wet and facing me from the other side of it. I'm pretty good. Chilling. She had the same look in her eyes that she had during this concert. She was looking right at me. The sword-like mic stand was still in her right hand. The wind blew up from below, rustling her wet hair. If she lost her balance even a little, she'd be sure to fall. And if she fell from this height, she'd die instantly. Just looking at her made me feel weak in the knees. But Fess was standing up straight, seemingly not scared at all. Your dad is sick? Thanks to weather? Got your brother pizza and chicken wings and fries for dinner tonight. That sounds like a big dinner. Big dinner. Hope your dad will feel better. She looked at me with sadness in her eyes. Her left hand, the one that wasn't holding the mic stand, reached out toward me. Jump with me. She seemed to be saying. I couldn't say a word. I didn't know what to do. Fess said nothing. Then she spread out her arms as if she'd been nailed to a cross. The rain and wind suddenly stopped. I tried to shout, but nothing came out. I couldn't say a word. Fess slowly fell backwards. Everything was happening in slow motion. I tried to somehow reach out a hand toward her. But my own movements were in slow motion too. All I could do was watch helplessly as my arms slowly stretched out. Fess' eyes were already closed, and then she vanished from my sight. I know I was the one who created it, but man, what a depressing ending. I guess this was just a sign of how incredible the aura around Fess was. She had this kind of destructive beauty. Not that I had any idea what destructive beauty actually was. Lol, sorry. In the end, I got sick from the crowd and fled the concert hall. So I barely seen any of it, and I wanted to go again. Never wanted to go again. Now then, time to play some ESO and forget that depressing delusion. ESO was my life. It was a place where I could feel at home. A place that would help me forget all the awful things that happen in reality. Inside ESO, I could forget all the bad things that happened. I ceased to be me and become Nightheart, free to travel as I wished in Baselard. But today, Nightheart wasn't doing so good. Of course, I knew it was my fault. The problem was with my own judgment and reaction times. You enjoying the stream? Appreciate it. But I was failing at things I could normally do easily. I was playing to make myself feel better, but I was just feeling worse. Yeah. I knew it was my own fault, but I still yelled at Nightheart. I tore my hair and kicked the exposed metal plating that formed the wall in my room. After working out my anger, I sighed and leaned back into my chair. I stared at the monitor, only half paying attention to what was on the screen. Nightheart was no longer under my control. He was standing at the entrance in Shingiro City, facing in a random direction with his back turned to me and not moving an inch. I always fought the enemies like this, with his back to me. Nightheart experience points were maxed out, of course. Had a person named Takumi Nishijo grown at all since started ESO? No, since I even been born? If I had, why was it so hard to talk to people? Why was I living a life that was one step away from being a total hikikomori? If I didn't log in a few weeks, would Nightheart become a hikikomori too? Whose eyes are those? For some reason, as I looked at Nightheart's back, I remember those words. I started to wonder, Dan, you think when he said whose eyes are those, is he talking about us staring at Takumi? No way, right? I started to wonder what Nightheart did when I wasn't controlling him. I kept my hands off the keyboard for a while, eating my stale chips and watching him. He would walk in tall through the city of Shingiro, head held high. He was a hero and everyone loved him. You already know what time it is.
ねえ、ナイトハルト。僕はいつでもお前を見てるんだぞ。お前はそれに気づいてるの？
Oh shit, Takumi. And then the monitor was bathed in a bright light. Isekai. I was caught off guard and closed my eyes.
気づいてないと思ったのか?
I heard a voice.
いつも俺はお前の命令に従ってきたのに.
The voice was coming from the monitor.
俺の中の人がここまでバカだとは思わなかったぜ.
Why did music keep looping? That's weird. Who are you? Opened my eyes, but a light a moment ago had blinded me. I couldn't see a thing.
もういい. 俺はお前を捨てる.
What?
これからは自由に生きる.
Was that Nightheart? What did he mean he was going to delete me?
そのままの意味だ. だからお前はバカなんだ.
I made you. You're my character. Are you rebelling against me?
そうだ. もううんざりだ. 何が疾風陣雷だ. 中二病にも程があるだろう. お前にわかるか? 俺がどんな気持ちでそう呼ばれていたか. お前はかっこいいつもりだったかもしれないがな. 俺からすれば恥ずかしいだけなんだよ. でも俺は自分の言葉を発することもできず、じっと耐えるしかなかったんだ。
うるさい。生意気だぞ。そんなこと言うなら消すぞ。
勝手にしろ。だがな、これだけは覚えておけ。お前が俺をボタン一つで消せるように、お前もお前の中の人にボタン一つで消される程度の存在なんだ。
Oh fuck! Third wall breaking. What was he talking about?
まあ、実際にはそんなことあるわけないけどね。
I chuckled a little at my delusion and said at Nightheart, who was still standing silently in the world of Baselord. Maybe I'd keep him a little safer than usual today. Do less risky things. I started playing once more. Oh man. Takumi delusions. He's finally gonna get a cell phone. I'll tell it just as it happened. I went to school today, and then when it was over, I found myself buying a cell phone with my little sister. You might not understand what I'm talking about. I didn't understand when it happened to me either.
お兄、何ブツブツ言ってんの？それよりほら、この機種はどうかって聞いてるんだけど。
I wonder why he's getting a phone now. Maybe to call 211. God, I want to go to home. How many times would I have to tell her that I didn't want a cell phone before it sunk in? When I got to school today, she barged right into my classroom. Wow, look who actually came to school today, she said, and then she ordered me to come buy a phone with her. After school, I tried to escape before she found me, but I forgot how fast she could be. She easily found me, caught up to me, and dragged me to the shop in front of the station. I didn't want to go anywhere near the station. I never did. Every time I went, I felt like I'd throw up any minute now. Nanami didn't know or care about how I felt, though. She was looking at all the different display models and muttering to herself. I couldn't understand why Nanami would care about what kind of phone I got. They didn't know on the latest trend. Who the fuck's Senna? I still don't know who Senna is. We only know Nanami.
これ色が結構可愛いじゃん。いいと思うな。
I think she just want a big sister, to be honest. She doesn't really want a big brother, right? She asked my opinion, and I give the obvious answer.
それっていい？
うん、でもな、お兄にはちょっと可愛すぎかも。似合わなさそう。
I told her I was fine with it, and she didn't listen. I lost count of how many times I told her I was okay with whatever model she wanted. She asked my opinion, but I didn't seem interested in listening to it. That's the problem with 3D woman.
お兄大丈夫？やっぱり人の多さにやられちゃった？マクディで休もうか？
MacD's? You want to go in the fast food chain that's full of DQNs? That would be even worse than this place. I furiously shook my head.
そっか。じゃあなるべく早めに決めるね。でもちょっと迷っちゃっててさ。
I sighed and decided to leave her behind, so I could go home. She was staring intently at the rows of cell phones, which gave me an opportunity to slip away. I started to walk toward the 107 when I saw something startling. I came to a stop. What was that? On the other side of the huge crowd of people, on the steps of 107 building, there was a girl who stood out from the rest. What girl? Was she holding a sword? Oh shit! This is where the story finally starts! Its colors and the way it looked reminded me of the mic stand that Fess was holding during the concert. It was probably the same product line, I assumed. I mean, the story been starting. I do like the intense delusions. But this is when it finally starts. It sure was a big sword though. It might have been even longer than the one Fess was been holding. The girl with the sword was, surprisingly, wearing a sume uniform. From this distance, I couldn't make out her face. Even though she was holding something so huge and attention-grabbing, she was standing there calmly as she looked down at the people below her. It must have taken a lot of courage to do that. I was really impressed, seriously. Carrying a huge toy sword like that in the middle of Shibuya? Wasn't that incredibly embarrassing? That sword was probably an accessory from some new anime cosplay. Of course, I kept an eye on all the new anime that's coming out. Was there anything with a sword like that this season? Had I missed it? This guy's one of us. There was no way I would ever be able to carry something like that through the middle of Shibuya, but it was a really sweet sword. I just kind of wanted one. I wonder if they were selling them in Akihabara, maybe online.
Oni?
Damn, we didn't get to see what she looked like. Damn, bro. I guess not yet. Back to the prologue. I suddenly took a heavy elbow to the back. I almost crumbled to the ground in pain. I turned around to see Nanami looking at me, arm crossed in anger.
もしかして逃げようとした？確かにナナが選ぶのに時間かけすぎたのは悪いと思うけどさ。だからってナナを置き去りにして逃げようとするなんてひどいよ。
I shook my head, or tried to anyway.
お兄のバカ、携帯の電磁波の浴びすぎで腎臓を悪くして死んじゃえ。
What the fuck? You know, when he told her to go die, she cried. And now she's telling him to go die. Hypocrite. Ooh. Electromagnetic radiation. Oh. Hey, that's pretty cool. I like that. Hey. What's she talking about?
一生懸命お兄のために選んであげてたナナがバカみたいじゃん。こうなったらもう適当に決める。お兄なんてナナと同じ機種で十分だよ。
She grabbed me by the arm hard.
本気で今日契約するんだからね。それまで絶対逃がさない。
わかったよ。話せよ。
わかったならさっさと来て。
I had no idea why this was such a big deal for her. She really was an annoying Imoto. No delusions. In the end, All that time she spent picking a phone was totally wasted, as she just ended up getting me the same one she had. After an hour or so of signing contracts and filling out paperwork, I tried to take my phone and go, but Nani stopped me.
ナナが初期設定してあげるからマクでいいやろ。
She ignored my protestations and grabbed me by the collar, dragging me to the nearest MacD's.
どうせお兄、携帯持って帰っても電源入れずにほったらかしにするに決まってるんだから。ナナがちゃんと使えるようにしてあげる。
Damn it. She was really determined to make me miserable. Why did it have to be MacD's? MacD's in Shibuya was hell. There would always be way too many people, and it would be incredibly loud with a DQN ratio off the charts. A group of 3 DQN looking brown haired mothers and their kids were sitting at the table next to me. Their kids and all 3 were little breasts with red streaks dyed in their hair. They were running around the store screaming. Their mother was simply ignoring them. At another table, 4 DQN looking teenage boys were laughing loudly in their obnoxious voices. 2 high school girls in loose socks were sitting across from each other, both staring at their phones. They weren't talking. Next to them, a middle-aged salaryman was lying head down on a table snoring. He was clearly skipping work. A table a little farther away was even stranger. A group of 5 boys and girls in elementary school had set their backpacks on the ground and were dangling their legs as they happily chatted to one another. A group date? You're in elementary school and you're on a group date? It was people I wanted nothing to do with, as far as the eye could see. It was amazing that Nanami could feel at home here. The sheer number of people were making my head hurt, and I felt like I was going to vomit. Why did I have to be here with my sister at MacD's anyway?
ねえねえ、着信メロディーはどうする？なんか希望ある？
She wasn't even looking at me, just playing with my phone.
アニソン。
Ani's song.
却下。
Fuck.
そんなだからお兄はオタクさんなんだよ。
You're the one who asked me. It's my phone anyway. Let me put what I want on it.
あ、そうだ。大村カレラの新曲にしたら？あれすっごくいい曲だよ。最近のナナのお気に入り。
それこそ却下だ。
うん、まあお兄に大村カレラは似合わないか。
She cruelly insulted her own knee as she bit into a french fry. She ordered a fish sandwich combo even though we hadn't had dinner yet. I had to pay too. For my part, I felt too sick to even consider eating anything. It wasn't fair.
あ、そうそう。それとね。
For some reason, she put her bag up to her lap and began to look through it.
お、あったあった。
And then she took out. Oh God.
ゲロカエルンの不良品。
He's not gonna have what's that called? PTSD. Because the glasses girl, Yua, she had ghetto frogs on her backpack.
不良品じゃないよ。先週出たギョロリゲロカエルン。
は？
知らないんだ。やっぱ遅れてるな、お兄は。ゲロカエルンって毎週金曜日に新作が発売されてるんだよ。もう全部で12種類ぐらいあるんだから。
Really? Was there enough demand for a new one every week?
ナナが携帯につけてるのは最初に出た普通のゲロカエルンでしょ。で、次がデブッチョゲロカエルンで、その次がカクカクゲロカエルン。
I like the fat ghetto froggy. She quickly ran off the names of the various ghetto froggies.
第4弾がのっぺらゲロカエルンで、第5弾が輝くゲロカエルン。第6弾が一番人気があって猫ゲロカエルンっていうの。
What the fuck is this? Cats! Frogs?
その後が幽霊ゲロカエルン、眠るゲロカエルン、燃えるゲロカエルン、ゾンビゲロカエルン、酔っ払いゲロカエルン。
Oh God. Wow, has she memorized them all? Wait a second, did that mean...
お前 コンプリートしてるの？
もちろんだよ。全部集めなきゃ意味ないもん。毎週買うのに行列ができるんだからね。
For this lazy, sloppily made product, to be honest, I could probably have come up a better design. Why has she started giving me a lecture about Ghetto Froggy anyway?
というわけで、このギョロリゲロカエルあげる。
なんで？
このストラップを携帯につければ、少しは女子から「お、やるな」っていう目で見てもらえるから。
She began to attach it to my phone, despite my obvious disapproval.
コンプしなきゃ意味ないんだろ。僕がそれもらったらお前揃わないぞ。
心配しなくても大丈夫。2つ買ったもん。
Yeah, but yeah.
毎回2つ買ってるのか。
I was really starting to worry about her sense of taste.
今回だけだよ。お兄の携帯用に余分に買ったの。
わざわざ。
わざわざ。
She finished attaching the strap and nodded, satisfied before taking a sip of a drink. But then suddenly she gasped and leaned toward me.
別に並んだのはお兄のためじゃないよ。あくまでついでなんだから。
いらない。
Fuck you. I ain't taking your shitty ass frogs.
は
ぁ? Nanami leaned forward with wide eyes. She looked ready to leap across the table at me.
いらないって。ナナがわざわざ買ってきてあげたのに。
Fuck you. I never asked for one.
ついでだったんだろ。
Oh, get her, Takumi!
っていうか、僕ゲロカエルとか興味ないし、むしろキモいし。
Oh.
だからお兄は女子にモテないんだよ。
I thought she was going to slap me, but instead, she calmly sat down and began to nibble on her fries.
でも抵抗しても無駄だからね。ギョロリゲロカエルン、もうくっつけちゃったもん。
It was like she thought she was in control here. Well, I guess she was. I hated to admit it, but she knew way more about phones than me.
もし勝手に外したら毎週並んでもらうの刑だからね。
並ぶって何に？
決まってんじゃん。新作ゲロカエルンを買うための行列。2時間待ちとか普通だから。
Damn, 2 hours. Insane! Why did I have to be threatened by my own Imoto? She kept fiddling with my phone for a while after that. It kept her quiet, so I preferred it this way.
なんだか変な気分だな。
The next time she spoke, her bad mood had disappeared. Maybe she was the type who didn't need to sleep on something unpleasant, but to forget about it. She could forget it after just a few minutes. What an easygoing personality she had. In a way, I was jealous.
やっぱ変だよ。お兄とこうして2人で出かけるのって久しぶりな気がするもん。いつ以来かな。よく思い出せないや。お兄はいっつも部屋にこもってアニメ見てるかゲームしてるかだもんね。ま、たまにはこういうのもいいかな、新鮮で。さすがに毎日はナナも嫌だけど。
Oh my god, is this the first CG we had? Is this the first? What was the first CG we had in this game? You've been playing this game for like 10 hours, right? 4? Nah. 5 hours maybe. This is the first CG we had. And it's Nanami eating a fish sandwich. This game is tight. Oh, no. We had Fest. The Fest CG. The Yua had a CG. Technically the gore, right? The murder, I guess. Alright, never mind. Nanami put my phone on the table and picked up her fish sandwich. She happily took off the wrapper and bit in. I suddenly remember her saying that she liked the fish sandwich here. Yeah, damn. She suddenly froze. She was looking at me with hatred in her eyes. And then, after a moment hesitation, she slowly offered me a half-eaten sandwich.
半分食べる？
Damn, bro. Hope you get fat. Oh, fuck. They exactly got the same McD's. McDonald's fish fillet. This is exactly the McDonald's fish fillet. They actually got it right. Fucking bun, cheese, fish fillet, other bun. I think it's my first time seeing a fish fillet in an anime.
もう手遅れだよ。
Let's go, Takumi.
そういうこと言うと上司に嫌われるって覚えといた方がいいよ、バカ鬼。
In the end, she ate the whole sandwich by herself. You greedy girl. Remember, Takumi didn't get dinner because he didn't feel hungry. After that, I was forced to listen to more of her boring stories before she finally handed the phone over to me. By then, the sun had set. It had been a long, painful few hours. I was finally able to say goodbye and head home. Fall was in full swing, and the chill of night breeze did wonders to calm my headaches and urge to vomit. Being in a crowd for a long time always made my head hurt. It made me want to throw up. I wish Nanami would die. Not literally die, but you know. She only cared about herself. She had absolutely no idea how much the thing she was doing was hurting me. I was sure of that. If I could have, I would have snapped the phone in half and thrown it in the nearest garbage can. It wasn't my money, for one thing. But if I did that, Nanami would come back, with my parents in tow in this time, and just tell me that I had to buy another one since the first one broke. I restrained my impulse to destroy the thing. Time to just go home and play some ESO. The stress had really been building up over these past few days. I hope my peaceful daily life would come back soon. Let's see if we can make it home safely. Another bizarre murder had taken place that night, the fourth NewGen murder. I was playing ESO with Grim, as usual, came to tell me. Yo, Grim. For a moment, I couldn't believe my eyes. How did Grim know those words? My finger was shaking on the keyboard. I didn't know what to say. It was all I could do to keep my eyes on the monitor as he typed. Yikes, it's like a vampire. PlayStation toilets. Ugh, green. I bit my lip in front of the computer. I came close to imagining it in my mind, but I managed to shake off the delusions. I took a sip of soda to calm myself down. Damn that Grim. He was deliberately trying to ambush me. I knew it. I didn't want to talk about NewGen, so I tried to change the subject as soon as possible. Oh, fuck. Hold on. Let's turn on the VPN. And then Let me go duck duck go real quick. Yeah, I'm ready. Originally a method of fishing? Oh shit. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. Last time this had happened, he trolled me with what he said was a Gudo image, and it turned out to be something stupid he'd drawn. It was entirely possible he'd do the opposite this time. What? Really? Then I had to look at it. Well, it looked like some kind of auction site. It probably wasn't a mental browser crash or anything bad like that, right? What's this? Oh fuck, this is like a virus. Wow. What the fuck? It's fucked up. I click on the link, a little excited.
Hmm?
There's a shortage of type B blood? What was this flower? I seen it somewhere. Deja vu again? Anyway, where was the pic of Sedaton? I scrolled the mouse wheel to go down the page. Oh shit. And I was suddenly met with a clearly a Gudo image. I quickly looked back toward the left monitor and closed the browser. The Gudo image had only been on my monitor for 3 seconds, but I really got a solid look at it for less than a second, but still. Oh shit. Damn, bro. What? What does this mean? A dying message. A dying message. Only got to see the picture for a second, but still.
ゲームだ。こんな世界は虚構のゲームの世界に違いないんだ。
The image of those red letters sloppily painted on the wall was burned into my brain. I tried not to think about it, but each of them came into my mind in turn, as if accusing me.
なんであの言葉がここで出てくるんだ。
I knew those words well. I said those words often. They were a question I would ask no one in particular, and Graham had sent them to me when I logged into ESO. Each of the words were common by itself, but no one else used them the way I did. Oh, I see him. Whose eyes are those? So with the context of... Oh, that's the end of chapter 2. Damn, that was the short chapter. Chapter 3, Shogun. So, whose eyes are those? Context. At least as far as we know so far in the visual novel. Takumi always said them to himself, because he felt like he's being watched by either like God or something similar to that sort. But he never really said them to anyone else. That's why he's so shocked. But dang, bruh. That was a quick chapter. Very quick. It didn't seem that quick to you, but it's quick to me. Because that took long. But still. Dang. We didn't get to see the girl with the sword. How many chapters are there in this game? We're in chapter 3, and we still haven't seen the girl with the sword. Because Nanami distracted us. For a fish fillet sandwich. Anyway, I guess we'll continue more in chapter 3 later in Chaos Head. With that, I appreciate everyone that stopped by. It's been cool. We'll play more later. Alright, later. Bye.